Yo, what's going on, y'all? I just ended up actually completing an Easter egg for the new Warzone Season 6 and wanted to get y'all some extra input slash advice on how to run it. Clearly, I don't have the best editing software or the best all kinds of that stuff, but I think I do have some pretty good input to add and strategy to add for this Easter egg. It's actually the first Easter egg I've done in Warzone, but it was pretty successful. I did it with Reformed. I'll put his Twitch and my Twitch hopefully in the description here in the comments as well. Um, and hopefully that will give you all a chance to check out the full video and see some of that gameplay. I just want to highlight a few tips on how to do this. It's going to start downtown. You see that blue ping that I pinged in there just for my own reference. It's called City Hall is where that particular building is. The ideal zone for this, and you'll see me kind of looking at map and realizing this is it, is playing on where the zone there's covering dam and it's also in airport. Why I say both of those is because the second part of this is in airport and the Easter egg ends in dam. So if either of those spots end up being in zone within like the first few minutes, you're gonna lose your chance at getting it. We actually the game before this died to being in zone after we got to the Easter egg, which was pretty disappointing. So this is our second attempt after a first try that worked. We spent a lot of tries failing and working through how to do it well and what roles we should each play in the Easter egg. This first part is probably the toughest. So what we had him do is there's kind of multiple entrances to this place. He's going to enter in from this side right here. And you see me kind of going into the front. He's making calls about if somebody's coming in or not. If there were any enemies, we're going to take a little bit, we're going to rush this first part. The first part of the game, you can see the loot lying around. So I kind of let him know, hey, there's loot. I'm looting up real quick. But what he's going to be doing is there's a passcode right where he's standing, and I'll show you just about where it is. And what he's going to do is just walk up to that, activate it, and enter the code 2179. Once he enters that code, the doors will lock. Nobody can come in, nobody can come out, and gas starts kind of leaking out into the building. Once that is done, you have about maybe 2 minutes, maybe a little bit less to complete this part of the Easter egg, or you will die. You get a second chance at it if you gulag and come back in, but unfortunately, what's going to end up happening is that it's going to all reset, so you're just going to start from scratch anyway. So you'll kind of see me running around getting loot, making sure I have guns, and then the doors will lock and the gas will start leaking. We're the only ones in here. So the keypad is like over here to the left. He interacted with that, put in 2179, and then he runs directly over to this computer. And here's what's going to happen next. So we're both sitting here, we both see this screen, and this is where we both need to pay attention. So what's going to happen is there's going to be 4 kind of combinations that show up. And each combination is going to have 3 different parts to it. There's going to be a small picture, which is a little piece of the different paintings that are around the room. So each picture is a small representation of a painting that is somewhere in this room and in the hallways adjacent to this room. And so my responsibility during this Easter egg attempt is to remember the order of where those pictures show up and try to immediately run to those pictures in the right order. So I actually have like a piece of paper written down, and I'm shorthand writing down which pictures show up in which order so that I know. That took some time to work through, okay, which picture is this representing? Most of them, this is probably our 10th attempt. So by now we're familiar with what each small little picture, which painting it's representing. So I could run to it pretty quickly. It might take some time for y'all to figure that out. Reformed is focusing on the other piece of the combination, which right after the picture, there's going to be either a plus or a minus and then a number, right? So I'll show you what that means in a second, but he's going to remember those details. And then there's a red X, and the X doesn't mean anything. Just ignore that. But let me show you what it's going to look like. So there's a painting right there. And then there's a number. So I'm remembering the painting, he's remembering the number in the order of it, in the X, right? So that combination is gonna happen 4 times. And I'm gonna run immediately to the first painting that I remembered, which is this. I'm gonna pause it right here. So I ran up to the painting and you can see it, there's Roman numeral 2 right there. So I'm going to read that out to him, and he's going to add whatever came after or subtract whatever came after. So for this one, I believe there was a +2. And so he's going to add that. And the first number of the 4-digit code that we're about to input is 4. So you see me run to each painting there. And at each painting, he's going to add this to numbers. And then here's what's happening on the screen. Reformed, and this is the hard part that I actually didn't do a ton of, but I can explain it, right? So what's going to happen is there's going to be 2 rows of 4 inputs each. So he's going to have to input 8 different things, the first 4 first. The goal is to get 4 numbers. The way that the keypad is laid out is that there's 4 tops of numbers and 4 bottoms of numbers. So you're going to have to put the tops of the numbers in the right order first, and then go back and put the bottom number, or the bottom of the numbers in order. So if the first number is 6, he would put 6 and the other 3 at the top. So he has to look at the keypad and figure out which one of these buttons is the top of a 6. And I'll put that first. So the first 4 are the top, but the second 4 are the bottom of the numbers. They add together and they should be 4 complete numbers in the right order based on the painting, the numbers under the paintings, with the numbers of either adding or subtracting based on what the combination was on the computer. Hopefully that makes sense. The next thing that's going to happen is that we laid out a route from this city hall to the airport entrance to the metro, or the place where the train is. So I'm going to fast forward here. We get in the car, we know our route. It's right there. So that's kind of, you can see there's a car dealership, there's the hangars, and these buildings. If you have a hard time finding them on the map, you can actually tell there that there's some grooves on the map, or grooves on the roof of that building. Once you get there, it'll be obvious. So we'll ping it, we'll roll through here. We don't get much contact. I actually recommend doing the route that we do. It worked pretty well. We go through hangars here, turn right, past the airplane, circle back in, go underneath that bridge, past the helicopter, through the oil rigs, right here, and we're there. So we drop in, and it's easier to go left right away. And this is the easiest part of the whole thing. All right, you get on, there's double doors. You can cross this if you need to, if you're on the other side. And there it is. Engages. And then we're at a patience game here. If there's already a train pulled up, or there's one pulling up that's actually just part of the game, it's not going to work, right? So you see it's rebooting. Once it says AE train approaching, I believe is what it's going to say, that means that there's a train coming in that's part of the Easter egg, and not just a train that's part of the map, right? So right now there's a train that we're waiting to leave. And then it blinks here, I believe. We can look back at it. Adrian arriving soon. Back out. Here comes a train. Jump back in. And you'll know it says, if it says maintenance at the top there, you see the name right above him and right above me, it says maintenance. That means you're in the right train. And there we are. You'll get there. There's a bunch of stuff in that hangar that I'm sure you can read about. There's specialist bonus. There's advanced UAVs. There's money. There's crates. Sometimes there's a juggernaut. There's miniguns, which are come in clutch later. If you watch the gameplay on my Twitch, you'll see us get a few kills with the miniguns. Be careful not to fall off the map there. Make sure you loot up this entire area. There are places kind of off to the side and kind of hidden, to make sure you're looting all of that and not just one side, or not just in the little open areas. There's doors you can open as well. Make sure you're getting that. There's a specialist bonus. And then to leave, you go through metal doors, and there is a green screen, and you activate that, jump back in the train, and it will take you back to airport. You'll see that he grabbed the Foresight perk, which tells us exactly where the final zone is. You can kind of see that already working on the map, and we use that to actually get the win in this game. Put in comments any questions you have, or if this didn't work, or if you have questions on how to run that painting part of it, which ended up taking a long time to figure out. Again, keep in mind the X's don't mean anything. They just are a block between to help you visualize, okay, now we're talking about the next painting. There are 2 sergeants, which make it difficult to know which painting you're looking at, so make sure you get that one right. There is one item that's hard to tell. It's like a little skull or something that's part of the painting with the lady in it. That's the general. Make sure that you know that one as well, and just be familiar with those paintings, and you should be able to fly through this. Honestly, the hardest part is just staying alive once you figure out the momentum and the movement of the hunt. So good luck to y'all. Hopefully it'll work for y'all. As you can see, it shows us the final zone and the movements of the final zone, which is actually just insane. Remind me a little bit of Fortnite, to be honest, with this that scoped rifle at that one point. Hopefully this helps. Again, let me know if it doesn't. Thanks for watching.